A first alert to near record heat as we head into the first days of October. Get you a first alert to when we could finally cool back down coming up. Day that we will see for a little while tomorrow, and that's going to be thanks to some cloud cover that's starting to build in out there as we head into the evening. You can see that building out across the metro now, so if you're taking your dog out for a walk, it's a little bit on the warmer side at this point. I might wait until we get a little bit deeper into the evening just in case we have some hot pavement. We're at 88 right now. We should be back down to about 84 by 6, and the additional cloud cover should help cool things down just slightly. As you head out the door tomorrow morning, you're going to notice the clouds in the sky. Temperatures by the time we hit about 7 a.m. will be down to 62, reaching for a low of about 61 at 8 a.m. But it's going to be a quick climb, already approaching 70 by 10, even with the additional cloud cover. And we have a stretch of 90s in the forecast. I'll get you a first alert to how close we come to record highs. That's coming up. Well, we are staying toasty as we move through the extended forecast. Our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook taking us through the first days of October, much warmer than average. Average high for us this time of the year stays between 70 to 72 for that range of dates, with average lows in the 40s. We're not going to be anywhere close to that. In fact, we are challenging some records. We're coming close starting Thursday with a forecast high of 90, record to beat 94 degrees. We get even closer on Friday with a forecast of 94. Friday's record 96 degrees, and by the start of the weekend we are also just 2 degrees shy of the record with a forecast of 90 degrees on Saturday. I'll get you a first alert to when we could finally see some 70s making a return. That's coming up in just a little bit. Jacqueline.
Yeah, Emily, welcome news for the fall. Thank you.
Let's get you a first alert to your forecast across the metro tomorrow. Overnight tonight, we're bringing in some increasing clouds, and that'll give us a little insulation for those overnight lows. We're dropping down to the low to mid 60s, 62 for Omaha, 63 in Boys Town, and 65 in Elkhorn. But with the increasing clouds, and they stay with us through the day tomorrow, that's going to provide just a little bit of shelter from the worst of the heat. This is going to keep temperatures slightly more comfortable. Take advantage of this. This is the coolest you're going to be for a while. We start off in the low 60s. We're up to 83 degrees by the time we hit the late afternoon for Omaha. You can plan on a mix of the mid 80s to low 80s tomorrow. 80 around Bennington, 81 for Waterloo, and 83 around Millard. It's going to be a quick return to the 90s after that. I'll get you a first alert to when to expect them coming up. Jacqueline.
Emily,
you have first alert to a pretty toasty extended outlook. Tomorrow's our coolest day for a while. We're at 83, mostly cloudy skies. After that, it is a steady climb, eventually taking us into the 90s. Now, Wednesday, the first day of October, 87 for Omaha. And this is also the date of the average first frost for the Lincoln area. Omaha usually seen that on October 6th. It looks like just about for everybody, we are going to be behind schedule on that. We have a long stretch of warmth that carries us all the way through at least the first week of October. Temperatures are back into the low 90s by Thursday. We're coming close to record highs all the way into the weekend. Saturday reaching for a high of 90 with a slight rain chance coming late in the day. It's going to be a dry forecast for the Husker game, however, and a hot one as well. You can plan on temperatures at kickoff. That's going to be 3 p.m. at 88 degrees. We are likely going to be warming into the low 90s during the game. At halftime, sitting at 89. End of the game starting to cool, but it's going to be a warm one. A lot of sunshine expected as well before that increasing rain chance gets here Saturday night into Sunday. That will start to cool us down, brings a little heat relief. We're breezy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday bringing in a chance for scattered storms, and you'll notice a dip in temperatures. We're down to the mid 80s, but our overnight lows, they're going to stay well above that realm of frost potential all the way through the end of the 10-day forecast. We do start to feel a bit more like fall, though, in our afternoon highs, beginning next Tuesday, with slight rain chances persisting all the way through the end of next week. You can plan on a dip back to the mid 70s starting Tuesday. We should stay there through the following Thursday. Can stay on top of the forecast. Pressure will be just down to our southwest by tomorrow. Tomorrow's the coolest day we have for quite some time. As this ridge moves in, we are nearing record highs, and we're into the 90s starting Thursday. This is going to be a hot stretch of days. This ridge stays over us us Friday into Saturday, and we're going to be pushing at times into the mid-90s. We're taking a closer look at just how close we get to reaching those records and when we get a little heat relief working in. That's coming up in just a little bit.
Gosh, yeah, still summer-like temps out there, Emily. Thank you. Well, mortgage
measured 0.3 inches back in 1985. We are not feeling like that today. We're sitting in the upper 80s and we have more heat on the way, tracking record highs. I want to get you a first alert to how close we come to records by the end of this week. Thursday's forecast a high of 90. Record to beat is 94. We get really close by Friday. A forecast high of 94. Record is 96. We are sitting within 2 degrees of that record once again on Saturday, with a forecast of 90 and a record high to beat of 92 degrees. This is going to be a pretty long, hot stretch. We'll be taking a closer look at when we get a little heat relief returning to the forecast. That's coming up. Brian.
And it's October coming up, too.
I know, unbelievable.
Well, President Trump trying to stave off 2 crises. First,
I think we're going to stay dry. This particular forecast model trying to pinpoint a shower over the area. There's not a lot of moisture to work with here. Heading into Tuesday, though, we are going to keep the cloudy skies around and out to the west of the metro. Can't rule out maybe a really light sprinkle, although we are not anticipating any measurable rain. The cloud cover will shield us from some of the worst of the warmth, and we get a nice temperature dip tomorrow. We start off in the low 60s, climbing to a high of only 83 tomorrow for the metro. A mix of the low to mid 80s across the region. That does not last. I'll get you a first alert to return to the 90s coming up. Jacqueline.
Yeah, sounds short-lived, Emily. Thank you. Meanwhile, here's a look at what's all new on NBC this evening.
Yeah, at 7, it's the blind auditions.
Tomorrow, and that's the coolest temperature we have for a little while. We'll be up into the 90s starting Thursday, and for Wednesday, October 1st, you can plan on a very warm start to the month. 87 degrees, average high at the start of October for us, 73. So we're already starting off above average. By the end of October, we typically see our average highs dip into the upper 50s and our average lows throughout the month going from 50 degrees down to 37. Now, our all-time record high, that's looking a lot closer to our forecast. That was 96 degrees, and we reached that in 1938 and 2024 for the month of October. We're coming within only a couple of degrees of that. 90 by Thursday, 94 on Friday. Will be breezy to windy starting Friday and continuing through the weekend. So for the Husker game, you can plan on a lot of warmth and some wind. Temperatures at kickoff will be in the upper 80s. We likely push into the low 90s at some point during the game. Halftime will be at 89, and by the end of the game, cooling back down to the mid 80s. Late Saturday night, but especially into Sunday, we'll be tracking our next rain chance, and that will come with a cool down. Our overnight lows in the meantime are going to be pretty warm. We'll be sitting in the mid 60s through the weekend. We start to feel a drop by the time we hit Monday. We'll be pushing back down to the 50s. Afternoon highs also starting to fall, low 80s by Monday, and eventually 70s with slight rain chances Tuesday through Thursday of next week. So we do get some slightly cooler conditions, but we're still staying above average even by the end of the 10-day forecast.
Yeah, summer just won't give in.
Not quite.